LuminEssence, a concept created by Giselle and Alex Lesner. Hello, I'm Giselle, and together with my husband Alex founded LuminEssence. The idea came from being moved to a windowless office, and realizing how much light and a view of nature shape our mood and focus. LuminEssence recreates the essence of daylight and natural movement indoors, transforming enclosed spaces into places that feel open, calm, and alive. After studying how people respond to windowless environments, we designed LuminEssence to recreate not just the look of daylight, but its experience. Dynamic light patterns shift gently throughout the day, echoing the natural rhythm of morning to evening. Depth comes from layered optics that make each scene feel open and real, as if you could look beyond the wall. Motion introduces subtle life, leaves moving, clouds passing, giving each view a quiet sense of time. And finally, serenity, which is the result of all these elements working together. The light feels calm, not artificial, and it's tuned for human comfort and psychological well-being. Behind the calm, natural experience of LuminEssence is a carefully engineered optical system. First, perspective adaptation. This allows the light to respond naturally to the viewer's position. It keeps the sense of realism and prevents the scene from feeling flat. Then, light calibration. Our illumination is tuned to the color and intensity of real daylight, so the transition from artificial to natural feels seamless. Parallax layering gives depth. It's a visual structure made of several optical layers, each handling different aspects of light, reflection, and focus to produce the feeling of distance. Finally, the projected light layer. It's what merges image and illumination, diffusing light across the surface so it looks like sunlight rather than a screen. Each of these elements works together to make the system invisible, so all that's left is the experience of natural light and openness. LuminEssence was designed to adapt to almost any interior, from workplaces to wellness environments, wherever natural light can't reach. In offices, it creates productive spaces with daylight clarity, reducing fatigue and helping teams stay focused throughout the day. In hospitals, it supports recovery and calm by bringing the visual comfort of daylight to patient rooms and treatment areas that lack windows. In laboratories and research facilities, it provides soft, consistent illumination that improves focus and reduces visual stress during long work sessions. In windowless cruise ship cabins, it restores the feeling of openness and orientation to time, giving travelers the light rhythm their bodies need on long journeys. In airport lounges, it offers travelers a sense of balance and relaxation between flights, countering the strain of artificial lighting. In underground rooms or apartments, it transforms confinement into comfort, creating a psychological connection to the outdoors. And in spas, it enhances serenity and immersion, amplifying the sense of natural balance that people seek in restorative spaces. Every version of LuminEssence is designed around a relaxing view of nature. Forest canopy surrounds you with soft daylight filtering through moving leaves, creating calm focus for work or study. Ocean horizon brings gentle motion and open blue light, evoking balance and clarity, ideal for travel lounges or wellness spaces. Mountain glow captures the morning light on distant peaks, a feeling of expansion and perspective, even in confined rooms. Meadow breeze brings warmth and softness through grass, swaying in sunlight, promoting rest and relaxation. These scenes can be selected or customized to fit each environment, allowing LuminEssence to adapt to mood, purpose, and design style, from hospitals to spas, from offices to private homes. Contact us for more information about our product. Behind the concept. Research shows that when people are deprived of daylight, their circadian rhythm is disrupted, stress levels rise, and cognitive performance drops. Yet studies also find that exposure to daylight mimicking light can improve mood, alertness, and overall well-being. Light doesn't just let us see, it keeps us balanced. That's the principle behind LuminEssence. In 2026, we'll focus on research and prototyping. This means selecting optical materials, testing lenticular and light field configurations, and building a first proof-of-concept unit to validate light diffusion and perceived depth. By 2027, we'll move into beta testing and refinement. That includes controlled user studies on mood, comfort, and realism, and mechanical refinement of the frame, optics, and light engine. The goal is to achieve a product that's reliable, quiet, and energy efficient enough for continuous indoor use. Finally, in 2028, we'll begin market launch preparation, working with wellness design partners, hospitals, and workspace architects to deploy early installations and gather long-term feedback. The entire progression keeps scientific testing, user experience, and manufacturability tightly connected, so that when we reach production, we already know how people respond to the light and how the system behaves over time. Parallel to this timeline, we'll begin building a small interdisciplinary team. The core skill sets include optical and display engineers to optimize the lenticular or light field layer and illumination uniformity, lighting and color scientists to model daylight dynamics and circadian light patterns, industrial and mechanical designers to integrate the frame, heat management and wall mounting, software engineers for ambient sensing and control algorithms, human environment researchers or psychologists to evaluate perceptual and wellness effects. These areas overlap strongly with architectural lighting, human-centered design, and visual computing, exactly the mix that can translate the concept into a working, scalable product. LuminEssence uses a multi-view lenticular optical layer that encodes several perspectives of a natural scene. As you move, the image shifts just enough to feel like a real window. No cameras, no glasses, and a gentle sense of depth that works for groups. Lenticular sheets are thin, transparent films covered in microscopic vertical lenses, like ridges on a credit card but much finer. Each lens refracts light from different pixel columns beneath it, sending those columns in slightly different directions. If you encode multiple slightly offset images behind those lenses, each direction projects a different view, so as someone moves sideways, their eyes receive a changing image. That creates multi-view parallax, meaning depth without glasses or cameras. Light field sheets are the same principle but more advanced. Instead of just vertical lenses, they can use lenslet arrays, or directional backlights, to control both horizontal and vertical rays. This adds more viewing zones and smoother transitions, but increases cost and complexity. Another option is light field sheets, which are the same principle but more advanced. Instead of just vertical lenses, they can use lenslet arrays or directional backlights to control both horizontal and vertical rays. This adds more viewing zones and smoother transitions, but increases cost and complexity. LuminEssence creates a sense of depth by layering light across several thin optical surfaces. Each layer bends and scatters light a little differently, so the scene shifts naturally as you move, like looking through a real window. It's a physical depth effect, not digital 3D. There are no glasses, screens, or sensors involved. Parallax layering uses optical geometry to deliver depth cues. It's lighter, scalable, and ideal for static or gently moving natural scenes. It doesn't require sensors or tracking. The depth effect arises naturally from how light passes through layered optics. It works for multiple viewers simultaneously. Light calibration is what gives LuminEssence its realism. The system adjusts brightness and color temperature through the day, following a virtual sun model. The frame itself emits light that projects gentle wall shadows and natural tones, recreating the circadian rhythm of daylight indoors. Some elements of this exist in adaptive lighting today, but combining them into one seamless daylight-aware system will require focused R&D, and that's part of what makes LuminEssence an innovation opportunity. Right now we already have systems that can shift color temperature across the day, and some lighting technologies can project simple artificial shadows, although they are usually static or manually programmed. We also have light frames that glow around a window structure, but they do not reproduce the directional character of real sunlight. What still needs to be built is a virtual sun model that drives moving shadows in a physically consistent way, plus a unified system that coordinates color temperature, brightness, and shadow direction. We also need improved diffusion optics so the light resembles sunlight coming through glass rather than the flat glow of an LED panel.